going on, good people? It's your boy Jay Koostix, the soulful singer-songwriter that you love and enjoy.
And this is the Creators Arena Podcast, episode number 2. And if you haven't, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. Our podcast is streaming everywhere. It's the Creators Arena on all socials. Go follow now, right before you listen. And I believe you're going to enjoy this journey with us.
But without further ado, let's get to episode number 2. This one is about writer's block, creator's block, mental block that stops you when you really want to create and you have nothing on your mind. So let's do it.
Well, don't let me tell you about this thing called energy. Everybody's got to own it while you can. And you can't let nobody do it who don't grow with your life plans. Cause everybody likes to care as long as you.
Alrighty, so let's get into it. Episode number 2. Mental block, writer's block, the creator's block, / all of that. So this episode, we're going to get into how to handle that block when you get it and how to beat it. So we're going to jump straight into it. Like I say, I don't make these podcasts long. I just make them helpful and full of value. So I got 4 points I'm going to leave you with and some good advice. So first point, let's get into it. The first point, way I beat writer's block, and I'm sure you can too, or creator's block or anything, is to pick any topic, anything, whether you're a musician, photographer, trying to start a business, pick any topic that you want to talk about, or you don't have to talk about, just anything in your room, like pick let's say a cup in your room and write about it for 5 minutes, describe it, feel it, say anything that's on your mind about it. It's black, it's shape, makes me think of whole, makes me think of rain. Just for 5 minutes, be as descriptive as you can about that object. And if it's like a business or you're trying to start, pick any idea, a stupid business idea, and write about how you can make it successful just for 5 minutes straight. Just go, no matter how dumb it is. Because the key is to get these thoughts out your head. It's to just let it out, so that your mind can be free to let in what you really want to create. That's part of it. Just picking something and just go in on it as descriptive as you can, using all 5 senses. Smell. What smell do you think of when you think of that cup? Is it coffee? Do you think of a tea? Or, what does it take you back to in your childhood that you used to drink? Or if it's a business idea, let's say, I don't know, starting a mug company. What does starting a mug company make you think of? You want it to be funny mugs. What's going to make your mug special? It's going to be the size of them, the color of them, it don't have to be real. It's just about getting ideas and thoughts. It's about getting that creativity, that genius in you. It's about getting it flowing and getting it out of you. And this helps with that blockage because you're unclogging your mind by getting these random ideas, thoughts, by picking one topic and just going in on it. And that's going to help the great thoughts flow that you want to come in. It's just about getting those juices going to get you back to creating genius level stuff. You know what I mean? All right, so that was point number 1. Told you this podcast isn't going to be long. It's going to be the quickest, fastest podcast that helps you get to what you want to get to. And that's what I'm about. So bullet point number 2 is to create something terrible. What? Why would I want to do that when I have writer's block or creator's block or mental block? Again, because this is about getting it out. Your mind doesn't recognize immediately that it's terrible. Your mind is recognizing that you're getting back to that consistent creativity. You're getting back to those consistent juices flowing out of you of art. So if it's music, pick any 3 chords, any terrible melody, and just write a full terrible song. The lines don't have to rhyme. Just have to get it out. It can be the worst song. You just have to get that information out. And if it's a business, write the quickest, most terrible business plan and just get it out. Just how you're going to make it successful. I'm going to start a unicorn company. What's going to make your unicorn so special? How are you going to sell it? Well, I'm going to target families' birthday parties. That's why I'm going to advertise, create Facebook ads. How is that going to help, and just go from there? Well, from those Facebook ads, the right families are going to sign up for my email list to do parties. Or if you're a photographer, I'm just going to take pictures of random things outside and then just keep going. It's just about the worst things you can think of, just get it out of your system. So that's bullet point number 2. Just create something that's terrible. Start something that's terrible. Even if it's towards your craft, create a terrible picture. Whatever your craft is, terrible dance. And you just have to get it out of your system. That's what this help. The mental block, what you're going to realize throughout this podcast today about blockage is about getting it out of your system. And the way I remember Ed Sheeran described it as a drain, just of mud, dirt coming out before the clean water comes out. And that's what we're doing through bullet point number 1 and 2, where you're first, you're just writing about an idea for 5 minutes, no matter how terrible the idea is. And second, just creating something terrible in your craft. If it's music, creating a terrible song, melody, and just getting it out. And the goal is to make it terrible on purpose. The goal is just to create something without judging yourself. That's what I mean by terrible. Create something without judging yourself, just to get it out of your system so that you can get that consistency going. If you need to do it more than once, it's just about the consistency. And soon this is going to open up that genius in you again, where those genius thoughts start to flow after the mud comes out. That's bullet point number 2. And number 3, and this one's going to be an obvious one, but it's the hardest one to grasp. It's to shift your mindset. When you're at those moments where you just can't think of anything good, you can't think of anything to create, you can't think of a business idea, just get yourself in that mindset that you will. Even if you don't feel it, you have to convince yourself that it's coming soon. Convince yourself that in this session, magic is going to happen. Even if no magic happens that session, you're getting yourself in that mindset every time you sit down. Every time you sit down to create on a blank canvas, you have to be so ready, even if you have nothing, to just tell yourself, today I'm going to make the greatest creation. $1 million business is coming out of this session. The best album in the world is coming out of this session. The best work is coming out of this session right here. And I'm going to deliver it to the world and create value. You're shifting your mind to connect with that energy that's out there, that's flowing. You're connecting your brain with that positive energy that's flowing across this world every day. And you're connecting your mind with it. You're becoming in sync with that when you say that you're going to create something that's never been created. Today is that day. And even if nothing comes out of that session, you're turning the gears in your brain to prepare for it. It's just dropping, it's slowly building in your head as you continue to do that and sit down. So that block won't stay there as long if you can convince your mind first to get into the right mind, to get into the right position to receive whatever idea you want. So that's going to help start turning the gears and remove some of that dirt, that blockage that's blocking your writer's block, your creator's block, your mental block. So you have to shift your mindset and be prepared for greatness to enter the room. Ooh, that was powerful. I love it. Now, the last point, and my favorite point, is take it easy on yourself. When you're pursuing something that you really love, business idea, music, travel, whatever it is, when you're pursuing your craft, first is a blessing that you found it. So when you're in those parts of the journey where you're either having setbacks or mental blocks, this is the time to take it easy on yourself, take a break from the craft, step away for 30 minutes, maybe a day or two, and just live life. Not only live life in appreciation for what you have, for what you're doing, and for what's to come. You have to take it easy on yourself on this long journey. Pursuing your passion or something you love is a lifelong journey of ups and downs. So the worst thing you want to be on this journey is your own enemy. You have to be your best friend and say, you know what, today just wasn't the day. Tomorrow might not be the day, but one of these days, one of the greatest things this world has ever seen is coming, and it's coming from me. So take it easy on yourself, live some life, take some walks, embrace the right now moments in front of you, whether it's family, kids, friends. Smile with them, laugh with them, and then take that energy into your next session, whenever it is. And I promise you, that blockage is going to be removed. So let's review those 4 points again. Told you guys, it's not that long, but it's valuable, right? So The 4 steps or 4 strategies to help you remove that writer's block, that creator's block, that mental block is to first pick an idea and write about it for 5 minutes. I'm thinking anything that makes you think of it and let your mind drift. You can start with a mug and let your mind somehow drift as you continue to add words. You can end up on, something else, talking about the sun from that idea. Don't limit what ideas come from that initial thing. Write words that make you think of it, words that rhyme with it, anything. Number 2, create something terrible. Whether it's a business plan that's terrible, a song that's terrible, a new verse, whatever your craft is, create something terrible in it just to get something out of your system. Scribble on a paper, and scribble all over it. If that's a drawing, just get it out of your system. Create the worst thing that you can think of without judging yourself. So just create. Number 3, shift your mindset to be prepared for greatness every time you sit down to create. And number 4 is take it easy on yourself and don't rush it. Take breaks, come back, live life if you need to for a day or a week, and get prepared for greatness to come out of you. Now, the life advice I want to leave you with for today, I like to end with some life advice. And today is going to be deliberate practice done right is better than spending hours on something just to say you put the time in. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you got 20 minutes to work on something correctly and doing it right and practicing to get better at it, and you doing every part of it better, and you do that consistently, you're guaranteed to get better. But if you spend 2 hours on something and half the time you're stressed, you can't think right, you're rushing it, and it's just not your best work, then you're actually, making it worse on yourself, and you're actually removing that progress, and you doing that over time is going to make you worse. So focus on deliberate effort and shorter periods of time consistently. And guess what, guys? We're going to all end up on greatness. This podcast is for me too. I'm learning these things, so let's go be great together.
I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to podcast number 2 of the Creators Arena podcast. It's been a pleasure. Remember, let's go be great together. Let's get rid of that mental block, that writer's block, that creator's block by just being consistent, not trying to be perfect. And remember to follow the Creators Arena podcast on all platforms, streaming everywhere. Let's enjoy this journey.
I'm outie, baby.
Well,